Is there a general step guide to the way she's written her book? So, Gifts of Imperfection is about self.
Yeah, so I would, the way I generally recommend people read them, if it's a order of which they want to do a self-development journey, Gifts of Imperfection is first, then Daring Greatly, and then Rising Strong. Yep. So those three books combined are really the ones about releasing the leader within, is what I would say.
And that's where Dare to Lead was born? Is that
so Dare to Lead came out of, you still got the price tag on there, Daniel. You need to take that price tag off. What the heck?
I just read them. I don't
just
worry
read them.
about,
Don't worry about that.
What's on them.
So the Dare to Lead book came from the fact that, Brene had done all this work and people were really appreciating her work and really diving into it like I did and using it to shift and change themselves from the inside out. Yeah. And there was a number of organizations, like the Googles of the world and Pixar and, and Nike and all these big companies, which were saying, hey, I've picked this up and I'm now starting my journey as a leader from the inside out. I'm changing myself. How do I bring this into my workplace? Because who talks about shame at work? Who talks about the fact that we have these emotional triggers and that comes from our past at work? Like, nobody does that. We don't talk about that stuff because that's vulnerability and we don't want to look weak, so there's this loop. So they were asking Brene, can you come in and talk at our workplaces? And interesting, Brene actually comes from an organisational development background. That was her original career before she went into social work. So she's like, okay, working with organisations, that's kind of my bag, no worries, I can do that. Came in and then started that journey where she was being asked more and more and more to come in and talk with leaders and how leaders actually develop these inner skills. It's self-actualization, if you think about that in the broadest sense. It's how do I reach my full potential? Well, I can't do that by looking at things outside. I have to look at the inside. Leadership is an inside-out job.
Yeah.
So she decided that there's got to be something in this and started a 7-year journey of research into how does these things apply in the workplace and can they be used to transform organizations. And so she did some research, and one of the key questions she asked was, well, if you could change anything in your workplace to get better outcomes, better success for you, your team, the organization, your customers, what would that be? And overwhelmingly people said, we need braver leaders and more courageous cultures. We need to have more robust and tough conversations. We're holding things back. We're not speaking our mind. We're not challenging each other enough. We need to have braver conversations. So she started on a journey on, well, what creates brave leadership? What creates courage? And she discovered through this research that there are 4 key skill sets that actually create courage. So she found out that courage is actually a teachable, observable, and measurable skill.